Hello, this is Mandela Effects Watchdog. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for the likes and the subscriptions. With that, let's get underway. Do y'all remember 2000? It was kind of weird for me because I was watching WWF wrestling and the Rock catchphrase changed for me. It was to me it was do you smell what the Rock is cooking? And then after the change, it was if you smell what the Rock is cooking. I would never have figured this out if it wasn't for Scared Performance figuring this out first. After I watched his video, I was like, man, I could have swore it was do. And then it clicked. I was like, yeah, I remember when that night where it seemed to had be different. I was like, if you smell what the Rock is cooking. And then there's no way to cross reference because what's it changes, that's it, right? So anyway, I got a bunch of different things I'm working on. The You can still find evidence that Statue of Liberty was on Ellis Island, and when you Google, they still it says they have tickets available for Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island, and then down below it says there's tickets available for Liberty Island Statue of Liberty. So I mean, obviously they forgot to change it and didn't erase all the evidence because it still says for tickets call blah 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 for Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island. Oh, okay. Just Google it and you'll see it. You'll see both. You can buy tickets either way. So once you get the tickets for Ellis Island, what happens? They're like redirect you to Liberty Island. Like we're not gonna notice. Oh yeah, it's on Liberty Island, so the tickets are still good. You know, just and the Crocodile Dundee 2 movie, the Statue of Liberty, is like way closer than that. And Black Tom attack on the Statue of Liberty. That was new. What, post 2015? So that was before 2001. At least there's no Black Tom attack, and the 9/11 was the very first terror attack on the United States. And then post 2015, oh no, 9/11's not the first one. It's the Black Tom attack. So anyway, my videos are really just for the Mandela Effects community. I had a bunch of people come on and boo my videos last time that weren't even part of the community. They pop on and they don't get it, the trolls or what have you. And I'm just making videos for you guys that are experiencing the changes. Why would I want to take all this time and effort making videos for people that just boo my video and just thumbs down my video all the time? It doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do that. Why take the time to help you guys out and then get shit on, huh? I wouldn't. Oh, let me just fucking put myself out there and make all these videos and get shit on and booed. So the little of you out there, thank you for the support, because these guys that come on there and they're real mean. I don't appreciate that. I'm experiencing this. Half the population or a large part is experiencing this, so it's not like, before we had the internet and you used to hear like, oh, so and so, saw UFO or blah blah blah. Before the internet, you couldn't really, prove that there was a bunch of people that were in a group like this. So that you had no choice but to sort of not believe it back then. And then with the internet and the amount of people that have seen the changes. is incredible, and a lot of the groups that are out there are large amounts of people in groups. So anyway, yeah, it's frustrating. I got like more thumbs down than anything last video, so it was just like, shit on you, Mandela Watchdog. You're fucking whack. You know, you're wrong, or you know what I mean. These guys are real mean, so it feels like, in order to get the information to you, I gotta go be shit on by these fucking trolls or whoever. So I don't appreciate that shit. It makes me mad, especially when I see that things have changed and many people agree, and then yeah, it's just frustrating. So I watched almost the entire James Bond collection around 2010 ish, somewhere around in there. Yeah, that's about right. And she had her braces back then, for sure. You know, and the natives, they didn't notice her with braces. It's never been braces, or they didn't notice. And it's just ridiculous without her braces and old metal mouth. And then, Back to the Future car. I remember that van. Of course, I was around in, the later 80s, early 90s. Well, it was still the Toyota van, not the Volkswagen Beetle. When I seen that movie again, like in '09 or something, it, I just, it wasn't enough to notice. I mean, I was just kind of like, I should have picked up on that. How come without you guys, I wasn't able to pick up on this stuff? And then since, like, these presenters have come forward with, these examples, and I'm like, yeah, how come I wasn't smart enough to remember the old way? It was like I was indoctrinated. And then after seeing the videos, I was like, oh yeah, it was that Toyota van, and not the blue Beetle. For sure. But I remember that plain as day. But without you guys, I would have never noticed that had changed. I never believed that reality could change. Never suspected it. And now we know, of course. And then Queen, We Are the Champions. That just sounds ridiculous without the ending. They're saying they're getting confused with the middle part, and that's bullshit, because that middle part doesn't sustain. It's of the world, and it goes back into the chorus or verse or something. So there's no way that middle part is sustains long enough for be what we remembered. It was of the world, and then out. Now you get this harmonic feedback in the guitar, and that's what you get. I've never heard that before, ever. That sound at the end with the harmonic feedback. So I mean, it's just there's no way this is God doing it, because these changes feel targeted by like a foreign country causing it, or maybe even this country. I don't know. But now that America's not the king of the world, the big boy in the sandbox, they chopped off the ending. If it was God, how would God be that precise at a time when America's losing its influence in the world, that would be chopped off? It wouldn't. That's totally targeted, in my opinion. America ain't shit no more, so they chop off We're the Champions. I mean, come on. It can't be God and be that precise. It's like, oh yeah, America's sucking, so we're gonna make the song chop off. No, I don't believe that. It just so happens that America It has been shut down so many times. We got to rely on China. China owns much of the forest now, and because we've had to have them bail us out. You know, what if they take us over and they make us so fucking soft that we can't fight? Because we're so soft, we have it easy. We got this technology. We just sit back in couches. We don't fight. You know, if they invade, we just sit there and let them round us up. I don't want that. So that's why I'm mad at the time America starts sucking, they chopped off the ending because we're no longer the champions of the world. How can that coincide like that so perfect? So, um, other people, don't really think that way. They're like, oh, it'll all work out. We won't be invaded. It's like, dude, you realize since 2011, America's been shut down almost 6 times out of 9 years or something like that. 6 times out of 9 years, we've been shut down and had to have China bail us out. And every time they bail us out, we have to. It's more and more they own us. More and more our country stabs us in the back for them. So, yeah, not good, people. And moving on, Oscar Mayer. Let's see. My baloney has a first name, Oscar. My baloney has a second name, Meyer. See, there's no way it'd be A, because I remember that shit. I'm like 80s kid, Mayer, Meyer, It just doesn't sound right. It's that shit's like imprinted in your mind, and you've seen it all the way as a kid, and then you're like A, so that definitely what a subtle difference. A. It looks almost the same if you're not looking for it. How are you supposed to notice that? Thank gosh I have you guys. I wouldn't have known about it in 2016. Seriously. It's totally almost got by me. And Forrest Gump. Did you know that the line in Forrest Gump has changed? At one time, the deleted scenes and the movie were all said the same thing. Mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. Well, what are the chances that the deleted scenes still say is, but the movie is was? There's like zero chance of that. What, the CERN or whoever forgot to go into the deleted scenes and delete all the outtakes? I mean, it totally proves it is. And when you hear it first time, life was, like, it just doesn't sound right. Life was, meaning life is over. Did they really kill us in 2012? I don't know. What are we living in if we are or not living in? Look how ridiculous Mona Lisa is when she's smiling. The thing that scares me is I knew that somebody that used to look like that is kind of a fellow musician. And just, it worries me that she had me killed or something. That's why the smirk. Because she sort of looked like that and it never looked like that. And I'll tell you something else. Did you know in this new reality, women have a habit of offing their own men? Yeah, take JFK. If you look in the footage there, you could clearly see that she's popping him with a bullet in that new footage that popped up. I talked to a friend. They said it was always in black and white, never in color. So once the Zapruder became color, the content changed where she pops him with a gun. And if you believe in, Kurt Cobain was murdered theory by Courtney Love, there's another example of a total fucking bitch wanting to put down her husband. In my opinion, I'm not telling you how to think, but if you've seen what I think, you probably agree with me. That whole, like the Duce guy, it was all, she paid me 50 grand. I mean, there's just so many like holes in her story. And anyway, think what you want on that, but you know, yeah, I believe he was murdered. Away in all the evidence, they didn't do a very good investigation on his death. A lot of people might be mad that I think that way, but I really don't care. People, it's worth it for the few people that appreciate my effort putting these videos together and bringing something to the table that the other Mandela Effect presenters, didn't make the connection on. For instance, I want to, give a shout out to Eva from Once Upon a Timeline. She pointed out that now there's World War II balloons with bombs being sent over, and part of the United States was hit. It wasn't originally hit in the original timeline. And think about it. If they were able to hit your relative, you wouldn't exist, because it's like the Terminator. They go back to eliminate Sarah Connor or her son. You don't have the humans winning the war in the future anymore. So if they were able to nail one of your ancestors with one of these balloon bombs that never, was in my original reality and many of you others, you wouldn't exist. They'd kill your relative or whatever from like 100 years ago. You wouldn't exist because they blew you away retroactively. So I thought that was an interesting concept she brought to the table. And Mandela. I was tripped out because in 2000, does you remember Mandela popping out with a commercial around 2009 or 10 on CBS? I was like, man, Mandela, didn't he die? And I had to read that English Alive book when I was like a junior or senior in my English class. I hated that. I hated having to read that stupid book, English Alive. That was the worst. But nevertheless, his name is in there and documented that he died. So the question is, if I was to ask my English teacher today if he remembers that, what would he say? Oh, we never went over that book. You must be remiss remembering. It's like, well, there you have another example where people flipped on you. So that's very frustrating. But nevertheless, we read that book, and I remember it was 1991. I was a junior, and we had to read that book, and even talked about his past. I don't remember no funeral on TV. Many claimed to remember that, but I don't really remember that at all. I just remember having to read that stupid long book, and it's actually a pretty short book, but it was just super boring. But I remember him talking about Mandela died. So how is it that Mandela didn't die until 2013? Oh, I guess I was misremembering the whole thing. I guess I was misremembering English class too. I guess I didn't show up. I must have misremembered attending class, huh? So, these naysayers, there's something else. It's almost like God puts a naysayer to bat you off the Mandela trail. So, for instance, I seen, Converse in 91 being on the wrong side. And then, my guitar buddy was like, oh no, those are just knockoffs. That's normal. And like 25 years later, it's a thing. This what is always got to be a know-it-all in your mix that thinks he knows everything. If I didn't listen to him, I would have I would have looked at that closer. But oh no, those are just knockoffs. Oh, okay. And 25 years later, it's a thing. So that's got me frustrated. I won't talk to him again. Anyway, next is 51 or 52 states. Come on. I've never ever heard of 51 states. Come on. I don't know where people are getting that. And you know, when they were talking about 50 or 52, they say, oh, no, it's Puerto Rico weighed in as a state. So you're just getting that. You didn't hear about it, or you just, didn't know about it. But yeah, Puerto Rico's a state now, so that's why it's 51. Or no, it was 52 goddamn states, in my opinion. Now, if it's 50 for you, it's possible that you're correct too. I'm correct. This whole thing has got everybody fighting one another. If it is two realities, why can't both people be right? It switched from 52 and then went to 50. Look at all the rap songs that talk about 52, and look about all the Eminem songs that say Christopher Reeves, Christopher Reeves, Christopher Reeves, Christopher Reeves. Oh yeah, Eminem don't know his shit. He's gonna get that wrong, huh? So moving on. Have you seen the footage to Risky Business? Is that not freaking ridiculous? He had like white underwear and sunglasses in the famous dance scene. Take those old records off the shelf. No one else. Come on, who doesn't remember sunglasses, white underwear? I forget what color T-shirt. It wasn't pink. Come on, there's no way he's wearing a pink T-shirt over his underwear like a skirt or something. Come on, there's just no way. Um, Febreze. I thought it had. I'm not quite as sure on this one, but the one E looks ridiculous. It looks like it'd be right with Febreze, but I'm not as sure with this one. And look how the Febreze has that faded look, like in 2011 when they scorched the skies with all the chemtrails, and they were advertising COPD medicine, and the whole sky was like light blue instead of nice dark blue. Look how the two E's there look so much more natural and a deeper, like what would be sky color. So my opinion is it's Febreze with three E's total. And then you know, Sex in the City also is around 2009, 2010. That's when that's the same time I seen the Mandela was back commercial on CBS. That had changed. And somebody I knew dug up an old Reader's Digest or TV guide, and it totally said Sex in the City. Oh, I guess they got that wrong. And how about that one guy that presented the Victoria's Secret makeup kit? It was Sex in the City. Oh, I guess they got it wrong then, huh? It's always been Sex and the City. So when these guys make these big products and all these, they're allowed to make these mistakes. I don't think so. It was Sex in the City. It was written, and now it's never been that. So how can would you really think that the TV guide would be wrong? Reader's Digest, you know, Victoria's Secret products. Oh, I guess they got the name wrong. It's Sex in the City. I guess they got it wrong. No, it changed the same time Mandela come back. Um, it just it was like a computer switching. That's what it felt like. So I'm sort of, when people say we live in a computer simulation, I'm starting to think that's not far from the truth now, because when these changes happened, 2000, January 2000, um, 2016, 2009, and 10, it was like a computer switching its program, or something like that. That's what it felt like. A lot of you might disagree with me, but that's what it felt like. And I was wondering, is God testing us? You know, maybe God's even worried we'll get to heaven and we'll want to take him over. So he's testing us to make sure we're, you know, stay nice, or we're not, we'll know our place and won't try to attack God once we get there. But who knows? And then there's a video by Bluebeard 2011 about this van disappearing. Has anybody thought to run like a Photoshop app, or some way you could test if that car disappearing, it has anomalies around it that would indicate Photoshop? That's what I want to know. Is there any evidence where the van might have been photoshopped in to make it look like the effect? Because, hey, there was that one guy, I forget the channel and the name, but he tried to fool everybody with the Berenstein Bears would change when he goes in the room, and then when he come out of the room, it'd have the A, and then he'd go in the room and it'd be like an E. That they bunked his video because they could tell it was like photoshopped. And then he opened that wormhole that went to Sedona over his bed. That was all like proven to be photoshopped. So come on, there's people, people making hoaxes out there, and that's not helping. So tell me what you think about the changes, and when did you first think that things switched up? Was it 91, 2000, 2010, 2015? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Have a good day.